The Netherlands is a country in Europe and not in Japan. Yet there is a Dutch theme park very close to Nagasaki in Sasebo. In what can only be described as a Dutch person's fever dream, let me take you to Huis den Bosch. Coming from the train station, you are immediately greeted by a replica of Amsterdam Central Station. The main attraction in Huis ten Bosch is of course just the park itself. I was super surprised just how crazy of a place this really is. The level of detail needed to recreate this is quite something, although it is hard to shake the feeling that you are in a life-size dollhouse. If you ignore some of the surroundings at least. Overall, I can see the appeal of a park where you can visit a piece of Europe without the cost or time investment of a flight. The park includes several famous landmarks, like a one-to-one replica of the Domtoren, the famous Dutch canals, the Naval Museum in Amsterdam, and of course, the Huis ten Bosch Palace. The namesake palace is the oldest part of the park, but it is still a little bit away from the main city. When I arrived there, it was already closed unfortunately. Still, crazy to think that this particular building started an entire theme park in Japan. However, for me the craziest thing was that the city hall of my own hometown was recreated here. I was born and raised in the city of Gouda, and it looks like they tried to model the market square and city hall after it. Gouda isn't a very big city, which makes it extra surprising to me. The city hall on the inside functions as what I presume to be a wedding venue, which it also does at home. It is just really wild to think that someone was crazy enough to recreate my hometown on the other side of the world. Although it is hard to make real copies of centuries-old buildings, they really did a decent job, and there are lots of cool details to enjoy. Just walking around the streets feels very cozy and, for lack of a better word, Dutch. And you can enjoy the canals not just from street level, but you can actually go up the Domtoren, where you can view the entire park, and you can really get a sense of the scale of the place. It truly is an entire city they created here. Filling up all this space aren't just pretty buildings. Of course, no theme park is complete without some rides, and they are here, but I wasn't really there for that. Most of the rides are indoors, while some of the merry-go-rounds are outside. These are definitely Dutch, although you can find them all over Europe. Definitely lots of things to do for the families. Any Dutch theme park, however, wouldn't be complete without some well-known Dutch symbols, and quite a few of the usual suspects are there. Clogs, windmills, cheese, Nijntje, or Miffy as they call the character in Japan, they are all there. And of course, like any museum and theme park, there are plenty of shops for you to buy Dutch souvenirs, Dutch foods such as cheese, and pretty much everything else you would like to spend your money on. Interestingly enough, not everything in the park is Dutch. There's definitely some pan-European vibes going on in the park as well. For instance, a lot of the music you hear around is French, and they definitely have some interesting Japanese take on what would be European foods. At night, the park becomes very cozy with some great lighting. Unfortunately, I had to rush back to catch the last train back to Nagasaki. You can stay overnight though in one of the many hotels, but I didn't have time this trip. I would probably recommend it, just for the weirdness. Overall, Huis ten Bosch is a must-visit place in Japan if you're Dutch. It is just such a weird feeling walking around here. And if anything, my travels taught me in Japan to just not question the weird things and to just enjoy them. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video, and to finish, here are some of the pictures I took. Well, take care and see you next time.